Taylor Swift, Jessica Simpson, Harry Styles from One Direction and Adele. Why do you think all of these singers are going on voice rest, and how can you go on one? Stay tuned. So, you want to know how to go on MOUNA, how to go on vocal rest? Then you've come to the right video. Wow, it's really sweating here. Hi guys, I'm back after a long time. I think it's been 1.5 years. Yeah, my last legitimate YouTube video was 1.5 years ago. You can expect YouTube videos from me on a regular basis now, and I'm gonna be posting about music, about songwriting, about singing, and about my academy that I haven't really talked about here. And I'm gonna be talking about random stuff that I come across. So if you're interested in that, consider subscribing. So first I want to clear that what is vocal rest. Okay, my mic is fine. So as we were talking about what is vocal rest. So vocal rest is basically not saying a word, or not phonating, not coughing, not sneezing, not singing, not humming, not doing anything related with your voice, just giving rest to your throat, giving rest to your larynx. Larynx is basically the voice box which houses the vocal cords that we have, the two vocal cords or two vocal folds. The question is, why would you want to go on vocal rest? So see, there are two kinds of vocal rest. The first kind of vocal rest is relative vocal rest. This is a kind of vocal rest that you can take every single day. Maybe after your performance, you do not talk or produce any sound for the next 5 hours, like not saying a word for the next 30 minutes. So you were on a relative vocal rest for 30 minutes. And then there's another kind of vocal rest that's called absolute vocal rest. And this is the kind of vocal rest that you're not saying a word for, and you're not phonating. Phonation is basically producing a sound like This is phonation. I'm not saying a word, but my vocal cords are vibrating together, they're coming together, and they're producing a sound. So that's phonation. Now you're not doing any of this during absolute vocal rest. And I'm getting calm because you need to be calm. You need to be calm while making a YouTube video after 1.5 years. So this is the deal, that there's relative vocal rest and there's absolute vocal rest, and you can go on either depending on your case and what's your motive. This is also called MOUNA or MOUNA, just being quiet. And you can go on vocal rest for spiritual purposes. You can go on vocal rest if you're a singer, author, actor, radio host, lawyer, and you use your voice on a high-end basis, on an athlete level, and you need it for your daily living and your finances, you need it professionally, then you should consider going on vocal rest, because then your voice has a lot of demand on it and it can fatigue. It faces a lot of fatigue when you're singing or speaking on and out and out and in, out and in. If you're using your voice to market yourself, you're a YouTuber, you have to give a presentation to people, you rely on your voice, and we all use our voice. You use it to sell, you use it to communicate your message. So if you do that, then you need a very healthy, a very brilliant, bright voice. And for that, you do need to incorporate vocal rest in your regimen, in your daily routine. So if you have decided to go on vocal rest, this video is your 101 for it, because you do not need to look any further. I will help you in going on vocal rest. So I have written some points in my mobile and I'm gonna be reading it out from here. So let's dive into the points through which you can go on vocal rest or MOUN. Oops, 13% battery. So the first thing that you need to go on vocal rest is a text-to-speech app. So a text-to-speech app, you can just download it from Google Play Store. It is just basically an app that you can type into real fast and you can just play it then for someone and just put your phone on the loudest volume it can be on, and that's how you can communicate. There are many options in a text-to-speech app. You can literally choose the ethnicity, the country, the pitch, the rate of speech. You can choose the gender of the voice, and even in that there are 5, sometimes 7, I don't exactly remember, but many kinds of options, and find the best match with your voice. Still it will sound a little computerish, but you just have to bear with it because something is better than nothing. So because I'm a professional singer, I use my voice day and out. I need to go on vocal rest a lot, so I use this app. It looks like this. And suppose I just wanna say something very minor thing, like a petty thing, then I would just say, suppose if it's something to do with like yes or no, you can just show your hands. But if it's something,
I will do it on Wednesday.
Sometimes because it has big letters, I just show it like this to the people around me and they just look at it. So can you hear it?
I will do it on Wednesday.
I will do it on Wednesday. And today is Saturday. Now the second thing that you need is you need to tell your family and your friends in advance, and if you have some clients, you need to tell them in advance that you're going on vocal rest. If you can't speak, just write a big paragraph, a letter, and send it to everyone and just tweak it as you deem appropriate, and just tell them the reason you're going on vocal rest. If you don't want to share the real reason, you can just maybe say that your throat is not well, and for the record, you need to go on vocal rest when your throat is suffering, because people overstretch, overexert their throat while they're sick, and they pay the price. You don't want to pay the price. The price could be losing your vocal agility forever, to having to go under knife. Why do you think Adele and all of these singers need to go under the knife of a vocal surgeon like 3 to 4 times? Isn't that crazy? So tell your family and friends in advance about this so they know what to expect. Tell them that you'll be communicating through maybe text-to-speech app, or you'll be texting, or they shouldn't be calling you. They should be leaving you a message instead, because you cannot talk for the next like 1 day, 2 days, or a week maybe, or maybe a month in some cases. So just tell them in advance, because it becomes very stressful when you are getting calls from people whom you were supposed to talk that day, and then it's ringing but you cannot pick it up, and maybe it rings 5 times and you're like, you're questioning your existence. So it's really ugly to get in a situation like that, but it happens and we can avoid it. If something like that happens, you can immediately just text them that, sorry, I couldn't pick up your call and so was the reason. You can change your WhatsApp status. You can just change it. I'm on vocal rest. I'm not supposed to talk. So please text me or send me a voice note. Get someone to answer on your behalf. I think it's brilliant. It could be your brother, your sibling. It could be a friend who could answer and explain stuff, whom you trust and who knows a lot about you, to people who have to get information from you like urgently. Have maybe your mom, dad, or your children talk on your behalf, and you can prepare them in advance that this is what you're supposed to say if so and so person calls, this is what you're supposed to say. So if you are very particular about this MOUN, about going on absolute vocal rest, then I would absolutely suggest that you should not cough. Sometimes it's unavoidable, it happens with me, but especially singers, and for just the legitimacy, for the sacredness of this vocal rest, if it's absolute in any case, then you shouldn't cough. So how do you stifle a cough, or how do you stop a cough? Because coughing feels involuntary, but it can be stopped. So whenever I get a coughing feeling, I always like hold it and then I try to exhale a lot of air. So suppose I'm getting a cough, and you do this 4 to 5 times and your coughing will go away. It will take practice, but the next time you get a cough, try this. It works. Hydration is your best friend. The next way that you can go on vocal rest, I know some people who are very particular about their vocal rest, and when they go on vocal rest, they try to not make any sound, but sometimes that won't be good for our health. So if you get a sneeze, don't stifle it. Because I know when we sneeze, our vocal cords do come together and they do vibrate, but you have to try to not stifle your sneezes, just let the phonation happen, because stifling your sneeze can be really bad for your health. So I never do that, and I would suggest you to not do that as well. Don't whisper. I know when someone might ask you something and you'll be tempted to, mouth the words, so you'll be like, and you won't even know, because maybe you're not trained enough, that you might, and you can actually start to exert your voice and you'll be doing the opposite of, relaxing and resting. Actually, as a matter of fact, talking is better, is much less demanding on your vocal folds than whispering. Whispering is really, really damaging for your vocal folds. So I would suggest you to not whisper at all, because it can be really, really bad for your vocal cords. And if you have to speak, then it should rather be with your, just talk it out. Just take it as a 3-second cheat, but don't whisper. Or just run and get your text-to-speech app, or just scribble on walls, but don't do it. Keep it sacred. Another thing that you need to avoid during vocal rest is clearing your throat This is really bad, and it's so habitual that you even do it while sleeping and you don't realize. But it's like taking your vocal cords and destroying them by smashing them together. They're tiny, tiny folds. And they're so tiny, they're very tiny, and clearing your throat is like vocal abuse. You should avoid it. My students clear their throats all the time, and I try to tell them again and again, this is bad. But once it becomes a habit, you have to tell your subconscious brain, you have to tell yourself again and again, oh, this is wrong. Once you try to do that, only then in a matter of maybe a week or a month, you'll be able to eliminate throat clearing. When you feel like clearing your throat, just take a sip of water. That's all you need to do when you feel like clearing your throat. Another thing, when I went on vocal rest, there was this time that I was not prepared for, and it was when someone made me laugh. It was my brother. And I just laughed and I was like, oh no, I wasn't supposed to do that. So be prepared for that, because there'll be times maybe you see a lizard and you're like, or maybe you're about to laugh. So you hear something funny and you want to laugh. So what I want you to do instead is practice silent laughing. Imagine that you heard something funny and then you're like, and also yawning is also unintentionally, it becomes voiced yawn. Just practice yawning without phonation or voicing it. Another way that you can practice this voice rest or this MOUN is like really listening. You might go on it to just rest, but this moment of pause, actually listening would change your life. It will shift your perspective. So just try to listen. When someone asks you to speak or looks at you to speak, listen to their silence. Don't speak. Listen. And in most cases, they will start speaking for you because people are awkward of pause. I'm feeling awkward right now. Even I have gone on vocal rest for a month and still, I am not still. But learn to be in silence. Learn to appreciate the pause. Watch it, experience it, live it. Live the pause. Second last way that you can go on voice rest is basically you can see a picture. You can just carry a cardboard like Taylor Swift. I'll pop up the picture somewhere here. Make a cardboard, write on it, I'm on vocal rest, cannot speak. That'll work for you. Taylor Swift has done it and a lot of people do it. And the final way through which you can go on vocal rest is get a Boogie Board. Boogie boards are amazing, and I'll put a link down below that you can order, that I ordered for myself from Amazon. It was amazing, and I'll just show you it. I'll just bring it, and it was amazing. It was so amazing. It changed my life. You can just write down stuff on it and you can just erase it through a click and you can write new stuff on it. Like, it is a life changer. So I'll show you to this real quick. I ordered this from Amazon, and this is my, I just removed the mic because I fear that the sound is in that, is messed up in that. So this is my Boogie Board, and it had a white stylus which I cannot find. It has a blue stylus, so you can say anything. Suppose and then with just a click of a button you can just remove it. So it works like a wonder. And sometimes, like, if you've written a long para and you don't want to remove it by mistake or somebody else, you can just write like make a star and you don't want to remove it, then you just click the second button and now it showed red color, right? If it shows green, then you can remove it. Suppose I write something and I press and it's showing red now. It won't remove. So this is a charm. The only drawback I felt about this was that blue, there's like blue color in the middle. It's fine to write here, it's fine to write here, but when you write in the middle and someone is standing at a distance, they get confused about what you've written because blue doesn't travel well on a reading basis, on a seeing or deciphering basis. So these were my top ways of going on voice rest. I hope you found these useful, and you can order the Boogie Board, and you'll find more information in the description below. Subscribe if you want to join the family and you want to know more about voice, about me, about my songs. Yes, my new single is coming very soon with 𝗩𝗢𝗓, and yeah. So if you want to know more about voice, about singing, about songwriting, about life, about philosophy, about why is the world so bad, or why are some people so good, or does goodness really exist? If yes, what exactly is goodness? And if you're good, what are you exactly good for? And if you're good for something, you should be bad for the opposite thing, right? then what should we call you, good or bad? So yeah, so expect to get some philosophical musings also on this channel. So subscribe my channel and I'll see you very soon in the next video.